From Brand Finance, a valuation consultancy firm based in London. And for more on their 2019 report, let's chat to Declan Ahern from Brand Finance via Skype. Declan, a very good evening to you. It just gets worse for Manchester United fans. Tell us, how did their brand slip so badly? Is it because of the form they're in?
Good evening, Simon. Thank you for having me. Essentially, it's a combination of both a decrease in Man United's on-form performance, impacting their various revenue streams, as well as Real Madrid having a stellar past 5 years. Our fan research indicates that Real Madrid is seen as the club with the most heritage, the club with the best star players, and Man United are sadly slipping down amongst that fan research results.
It's interesting to me that the big clubs like Real Madrid, Manchester United aren't necessarily liked within their own territories. Like a lot of England despises Manchester United, Real Madrid as well. They give off bad vibes to the rest of Spain. How do they get all the good faith throughout the world? What's at play that makes the consumers want to look at their brand as not the big evil empire, but the brand to follow?
Yes, you are correct. Essentially, the clubs are relying on three different forms of revenue. Firstly, it's match day as a result of ticket sales. Secondly is broadcasting, and that's largely negotiated on a league-by-league basis. And thirdly is commercial revenue. The reality is clubs like Man United, Real Madrid are extremely well established. They've got a wealth of knowledge, history, heritage, and they leverage the strength of their brands on a global basis. See these clubs going on watches and pre-season tours, tapping into emerging markets, tapping into a fan base that's more affluent and willing with their money, or merchandising, spending money to go and watch games, watch them play, and all of the hype around those clubs also increases the broadcasting deals that these leagues can generate and therefore pass on to those.
Right, so I mean, while Manchester United might have slipped from their perch in terms of brand value, the EPL is still the broadcasting or the league to follow, whereas La Liga is below them, and then the Bundesliga and so on and so forth. So the broadcasting deal has really definitely does strengthen a lot of teams in the EPL, because that's why we've seen so many English teams in the top 10 where perhaps we shouldn't.
Correct. So our research indicates that fans globally are firstly more aware of the Premier League. They have better perceptions over the quality of the football being played in the Premier League, and they see the Premier League as being more competitive. That then translates into more demand for the sport, or the league specifically, which gives the league leverage to negotiate higher cost deals. The reason we see such dominance in the Premier League is that they also have a more equitable distribution system of that broadcasting revenue, whereas leagues such as the Liga are highly skewed for dominant clubs of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid.
I mean, talking from a South African perspective, and I know this is a long shot, but our main contribution to world football is we have a derby here called the Soweto Derby, Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates, and it gets mentioned in lists of great derby days around the world, but that's about it, because your list is almost exclusively European. Is there any way that any other clubs from around the world, even South America, for instance, are they able to get on the list? And what aren't they doing that the European clubs are doing?
It's extremely tough. So there are two sides that we're looking at, really. We're looking at the strength of the brand, so where it sits in the hearts and minds of fans globally, as well as other stakeholders. And then we are looking at the financial revenues that brand can generate through those income streams. So match day, broadcasting, and commercial. If we look at the PSL, for example, total revenue 16 teams in the PSL is less than that of one team in the Premier League. So I think the revenue is approximately 960 grand. Huddersfield, for example, earned £125 million worth of revenue last year. And that is largely because perceptions of the strength of the league And again, how that lends itself to negotiate higher broadcast deals.
And I was just very, very taken aback to see Wolves. They've entered into your list, number 28. Now, I don't want nothing against Wolves, but I think outside of the Midlands, no one really cares about Wolves. But that's obviously due to the strength of the EPL and the broadcast deals, and they've just brought all the clubs into play.
Correct. Wolves were promoted last year for the first time after 6 years, and naturally that allows them into the revenue that you generate. Just simply by being broadcasting pool, it can generate sponsorship deals through partners. You want that global reach, one association of Premier League. Wolves are also interesting. They have an Eastern team. They're looking at various ways of generating revenues for the club. We're seeing esports becoming a much dominant role-playing exercise of the club to generate further revenue. We see clubs like PSG, they own an esports example. So clubs are aware that they can't just rely on broadcasting revenues. They're keeping part of the Premier League, and there's always that high risk.
Declan Ahern, thanks very much for speaking to us. Brand Finance, your report out. And it just gets worse for the Mancunians out there and Manchester United, legions of their supporters. They're off their perch in terms of brand value. Real Madrid are the number one team when it comes to marketability. Now, cricket news. Eastern Province